Hello and welcome to Infinite Table. In this video, we want to showcase our master detail implementation. Master detail allows you to render a data grid that can have details for each row in the data grid. We want to show you how easy it is to build a master detail data grid. We'll start from this data grid that has developers as data, each developer with a first name, last name, country, city, age, salary, and so on. So we have a bunch of columns defined. Then we have the function that fetches the developers. Basically, it goes to this URL and then retrieves the data. Okay, but let's use this data set, cities with countries, as the master rows, and then use the developers as the detail rows. So each city will have developers only from that city. We have to replace this. Let's define a data source for cities, yes. And let's say of type city. We need to define type city in TypeScript that has an ID, which is a number, name, which is a string, and a country, which is again a string. So once we do this, we define the primary key to be ID. We'll need to define an infinite table inside the data source, which again is bound to the city type. We need some columns. Let's do city columns. We need to define the sizing. We'll use those DOM props above. So const city columns will be of type infinite prop columns of city. Let's define the ID column, which is bound to the field of ID, type number, and let's give it a header ID, and city, which is bound to field name, and we'll have a header of city. And let's have a country column bound obviously to the country field and with a header of country with capital C. And we'll need a data will be the cities, and let's import cities from cities.json. Let's save. Okay, that's perfect. Let's give this a default width of 80 pixels. Okay, so this is the master data. We notice we don't have yet any detail rows, so we'll fix that. We need to do row detail renderer, and let's call this render detail. Let's define this function render detail, and I'll paste this as we had it before. So for the detail, we render this grid. And what else we need is to specify which column in the master grid shows the collapse expand icon for the detail rows. So we'll go into city columns and here render row detail icon true. Okay. The only thing we still have is to implement the filtering. Notice here we have cities from Canada, from Italy, and it loads the details or from all the cities and all the countries. That's quite easy to do because in the detail data source we have access to the master row info. So we'll say if there's a master row info, because this could be undefined, but we know here it's always defined, then we can say the filter value. Let's use the previous filter value. Also filter by city. So we'll do field city, and we'll filter the operator. We'll use equals, and the type is string, and the value is basically master info.data.name. We have to do a city, and then everything is all set. Okay, we notice the filtering is now working. Yeah, the city is the same as this one. Thank you for watching. and hope you'll head out to Infinite Table and find out more. Goodbye.